Before we attend to anything more important, ducks.
The ducks are a little bit cold, so we had to warm them up. Obviously, they're rubber ducks, guys. No real ducks have been harmed in the process of this event, obviously. So, we will be starting in about 5 minutes' time. So thank you very much for your patience while the ducks get warm for their race. Our team is ready at the bridge. You can see all the lovely green shirts up there. They are ready to help the ducks fly off of the bridge up the other end of the canal.
Though it looks like Duck 1401 will win, in fact it was Duck 571 in a late run from the middle of the pack.
Well, those ducks were fun, weren't they? So just go up these stairs. Oh, I've been told how to use some stairs. That's quite interesting. I learned this skill quite early in my life, so I assume other people still need to be told. Okay, so we're at Paddington Basin. We've just come up from the Hammersmith and City station area, which is quite new. Paddington Basin has been massively redeveloped in recent years. And we're heading off on this towpath from Paddington Basin towards Warwick Avenue station. Shame the weather's quite so mint today. But it's quite an exciting walk for me because once upon a time I very nearly lived on a houseboat in Little Venice before the person I was going to share with pulled out with cold feet. So it's like something I was planning to do but didn't, and I haven't really been back to the area since then, and that was years and years and years and years ago. So this is the Bishopsbridge Road bridge we're walking under. We're heading in the distance towards Westerway. This has got quite an interesting history, this area, so while we're just aimlessly, well, that'd be a nice place to go. While we're just aimlessly heading, not aimfully heading towards Warwick Avenue, it's not aimless at all, we'll look at some old maps. But this is a current day map, and this is the route we'll take up to Warwick Avenue station, past the Little Venice Triangle and the island in the middle, and ending up one stop up the Bakerloo Line from here. And this is part of the new development of the Paddington Basin. This is Sheldon Square. I assume not named after the Big Bang character. Historically though, we'll go back to a map from the turn of the 19th century, and notably there is no canal going across from left to right across this map, because it didn't come along until 1801. The field names I researched from a parish map of Paddington and one of St Marybone, and Paddington's just a village on the edge of London, and these fields with the names to the north of Harrow Road are called Kilburn Fields in contemporary reports. So here's a lovely view of some algae. We're just about to pass under the Westway, and the rather post-industrial environment of the Paddington Basin will be replaced by a more bucolic canal atmosphere. The bridge up ahead is the Harrow Road itself, which is the original thoroughfare through the area. Just a single road ran west-east before the canal came along. Paddington Basin is the name given to a long basin, and from 1801, when the canal was dug, this led from the Little Venice area along to Paddington. The new road had been recently opened. This is now the Marybone Road and the Euston Road, but then was London's northern bypass. As you can see, it's still a bit industrial in this area, but it does actually become more canal-like. and beautiful. The Paddington Basin gave an easy access to the new road and allowed goods to continue on an onward journey to the City of London. So the basin slowly fell out of use, and since 1900 it's been the centre of a major redevelopment, and where the ducks did their thing has been rebranded as Merchant Square. Marks and Spencer's head office moved here from Baker Street in 2004, but that's back there and we're here. Just read this sign since it's here, and we are as well. So making quite good progress. I always remember when underground maps were at a station, there's always a big circle where a dog just went underneath me here. There's always a big circle where people have put their fingers on the current station going, oh, so we go from here and then here. So I'm not sure that appears anymore because I think they're using a plastic material when the maps are made out of paper.
No, they use probably listers as well. Yeah, both things.
We've arrived in Little Venice now. Two poets posthumously fight for the honour of coining this term. There's Robert Browning, who lived locally in Warwick Crescent, and inevitably Lord Byron, who gets everywhere. Browning meant it as a term of affection, comparing London here to Venice, and Byron is supposed to have called it Venice sarcastically. But it only got to be called Little Venice, rather than just Venice, in the 20th century. It's at the meeting point of the Paddington Basin, the Grand Union Canal, which stops here on its journey from the north, and the Regent's Canal, which starts here on a journey to Limehouse and the River Thames. There's a lovely island of willow trees in the middle of this watery triangle. I think it looks more like Holland than Italy, to be honest. I'm doing too much walking, I should just stand, take in the view.
He'd never been there before.
Okay, enough view. Let's carry on walking. So while we're walking along, let's go back to some mapping. So we're moving on from the 1800 map, just 30 years to 1829, and the canals are now built, and the countryside is hanging on in the Kilburn Fields, but Paddington Basin has got two walls, North Wharf Road and South Wharf Road, alongside. So London has caught up with Paddington. You can see it's part of the urban area. We're going to walk over that blue bridge. The upcoming Blue Bridge was the site of the new gauging dock on that 1829 map I just showed, and now it's called Westbourne Terrace Road Bridge, and it's the location of the Canal Cafe Theatre, which will be straight ahead of us here, and it's about to come into view. Bridge House is the site of that theatre. And the bridge to our right was built in 1900, the year the Metropolitan Borough of Paddington had come into being. This happened after a local government reorganisation that year. And if you're eagle-eyed, like Action Man in the 1970s, you might see VR written either side of the coat of arms. That's for Victoria Regina, her last year before she died. So that's quite a very late appearance of VR. And over the other side of the bridge is Blomfield Road. Blomfield Road received its name in 1841. Mr. Blomfield, Charles Blomfield, was a Bishop of London, I suppose Reverend Charles Blomfield became Bishop of London. Growth was slow, and even as late as the 1860s, Bristol Gardens still commanded uninterrupted country views to the northwest. This is the road I've marked in purple on the 1865 map here. And apart from that final scrap of countryside in the far top left of the map, the area is now fully urbanised. The red squares are Paddington Station, and also another red square is the new underground station marked Metra. Warwick Avenue, which is just around the corner from here, we'll soon reach that, but it's called Warwick Road on this map, and it'll become Warwick Avenue only in 1905.
Yeah, this blue bridge here was the bridge I thought we were going to walk over. They're both blue, but I got my bridges confused, because this is the one where if we turn left, we head up to the station. Let his car go through, nicely ruining the atmosphere.
And so we reach our final street, Warwick Avenue. This was named after Jane Warwick, who lived in Warwick Hall in Cumbria, and her father-in-law was John Moorhead, who in turn was the son-in-law of Robert Thistlethwaite, who leased the land here. And that's how we name a road. That's St Saviour's Church, dating from 1973. Warwick Avenue Station is up ahead, and this station opened on the 31st of January 1915 on the Bakerloo's extension from Paddington to Queen's Park. There's no service building, and it's one of the first London Underground stations built specifically to use escalators rather than lifts. But I'll see you on the next walk.
When I get to Warwick Avenue, meet me by the entrance of the two. We can talk things over a little time. Promise me you won't step out of line. When I get to Warwick Avenue, please drop the past and be true. Don't think we're okay just because I'm here. You hurt me bad, but I won't shed a tear. I'm leaving you for the last time, baby. You think you're loving, but you don't love me. And I've been confused out of my mind lately. You think you're loving, but I want to be free. Baby, you